This is Exaltslam. Today I'm going to talk about basic idea about crafting gears, to fix your resistance problem, or life problem, or like I'm going to talk about the gear level, the item level, and they're pretty different. And item base type, and all the embers and rare embers and like a legendary embers, a lesser embers. So yeah, so when you're crafting, always want to have a clean item, a white item, without any affix on it, just straight up implicit. Right, this has like 6 modifiers, but this has none. Pretty much always want to have an item that is like at least item level 85. You can like go all the way up to like 87 at some point. In line of war, it says like required level 81. So this is the level where your character have to reach in order to equip this item. It usually goes up as the item level goes up. It's called Imperishable Fate. It has a lot of base energy shield. Also like other intelligent boosts. For example, like this one is pretty good because it gives like a 5 to 10% elemental resistance in the implicit. But this one, see, this one only requires level 72, meaning that if nothing goes wrong, your character can start equipping this like after you reach level 72. See, like this only have 3 maximum energy. It says a different type of weapon base has different value. These 4. As you can see, they're item level 77. Usually they're the base you want to craft on after you get to the end game because they have the highest value among like all of those. Right? You want to either go for the Bloodstone Sword. It has more attack speed, right? The fastest attack speed is like 1.65% attack per second. It's good, but the critical strike rating is pretty low, I would say, right? So you lose some, you get some. Like same goes for like helmet, also has like different implicits. Like see which one you want. And the chest piece and glove all has different kind of implicit. And in this case, like differentiate them is armor, amount of armor provides. First thing you want to is about choosing the base. So when you're crafting, if you want to search for item base, because only then will tier 1 modifiers be open to you. Oh, by the way, you should be using this like as much as possible. So plan it out, right? For example, if I want like all resistances, and at the same time I want some intelligence, and if you check the list, you find like resistance, I won't be able to get the one for intelligence, right? So I have to get some resistance to other place instead of like solely rely on this. See what kind of modifiers you need. So let's talk about the crafting itself. So you can see here, we have like 3 levels of embers. The first, lesser ember, right? They're less rare, they drop more frequently compared to like those. So these are all the lesser ember. Appear to be blue, drops like same as flame sand, I think, the icon that appears to be on the map. If you have like your auto loot, your pet following you, your pets can like loot them automatically. And the second tier is called greater embers, right? Like 7 types of them. When they drop, callousness and obedience drop as and hardship. Those 3 dark orange background. Means like indicating it's more rare, and the rest 4 types are like kind of less rare. All of those greater ember, you have to manually pick them up. If you leave them on the ground, your pet is not gonna pick them up. Finally comes to the legendary embers. Stupidly rare, I would say. Even if you're doing on the hardest Path of Brave, level 41 to 42, it's gonna take like a drop like every 1 out of 10 the Path of Brave like 45 challenge. So they're usually pretty expensive. So these are 3 tiers of embers. First tier of flames can be exchanged to flame dust. Flame sand also drops in the map. Most people doesn't. So this is a tier 1. Say if you get like a clean gear with 0 affix on it, we will be using a lesser ember, and it costs you exactly 1 flame dust, right? So now my boost right now has 1 affix, and it appears to be blue. 1 prefix, it has 1 affix. So now if I were to apply the second, it will cost me exactly 1 lesser ember. Cost me 3 flame dust right now. As you can see, now I have 2 affixes on my gear. There are like 2 possible outcomes right here. So the first is that you add a modifier without removing or touching any like of the existing modifier. The second outcome. So in this case, we actually added a lightning resist modifier. However, we happen to remove the gear energy shield modifier. So this is one of those outcomes. My gear will still have 2 affixes. I lose the gear energy shield, but I gain lightning resistance mod on my suffixes. Added a modifier without touching any of those. Now you have 4 modifiers. These rare embers are open for you now because you have to get an item with at least 4 affixes on it in order to apply the rare embers to them. So the cost right now, adding the first modifier will cost you 1 flame dust, and adding the second will cost you 3, and adding the third modifier will cost you exactly 1 flame sand, and the fourth one will be 3 flame sand. As you can see, what we're doing right here is adding the fifth. Right now the cost will be 6, which is a lot, I would say. So now our item has 5 modifiers, and this is lost, but you cannot apply legendary ember yet because your gear has to have 6 affixes, and those 2 embers usually gives you like very crazy modifiers. Sometimes even give you large nose on the talent. Omnis is for prefixes, Restless Ember is for suffixes. There are little indicators to the right side of the icon and the name of the ember. So for example, Resilience, if you see the little indicator to the right side of it, it is used to add a suffix. You see the arrows pointing downwards to tell you the ember as a prefix or a suffix.